Objects stay still unless moved. Force makes things accelerate, and every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Simple, right? Kick a soccer ball and it flies. Kick it harder and it flies farther. But what if those rules suddenly stop making sense? Imagine objects floating with no explanation, warriors turning their bodies into living armor creatures, casually walking on walls as if gravity doesn't exist. In this list, you'll discover 16 mind-bending events that seem to laugh in the face of physics. And some of the explanations might be even stranger than the mysteries themselves. Shaolin monks are among the most disciplined and skilled martial artists in history. Though their numbers have declined over time, their techniques have become increasingly advanced. Today's Shaolin masters continue to perform incredible feats that challenge our understanding of the human body. They are believed to use a technique that directs energy to specific parts of the body, making them more resilient, almost like natural armor. This allows them to lie on sharp spears unharmed or break bricks with their bare hands. These demonstrations may seem unbelievable, but scientific studies have begun to explore what happens in their bodies during such displays. The findings suggest untapped human potential, though there's a twist you'll hear about later. Shaolin monks offer training in their basic methods, but true mastery requires lifelong dedication. Interestingly, the next phenomenon we'll explore doesn't require any training, but rather one invisible element. Is there magic at work here? Are there some invisible forces at play that we can't see? What you can't see in this footage is what's lying at the bottom of that tank, and this hidden element is the key to understanding how this seemingly impossible feat is happening. It's sulfur hexafluoride, a non-reactive gas with a density about 5 times that of regular air. Importantly, it's completely transparent to the human eye. When he dips the beaker into what appears to be empty air and pours it onto the tinfoil, he's collecting this gas and filling the tinfoil boat. The process works similarly to how a boat floats on water, but here's the twist that makes this even more surprising. Because sound travels more slowly through this gas than through regular air, if someone were to use it in a controlled scientific setting safely, their voice would sound lower. Essentially the opposite of helium's famous high-pitched effect. This demonstration is purely educational and should not be attempted without proper safety precautions. But this invisible gas phenomenon is nothing compared to what happened next at a convenience store, where security cameras captured something so strange that people are still trying to explain it years later. After an accidental bump sent a bottle crashing to the floor, it unexpectedly burst open and appeared to propel itself back to its original position. It returned almost exactly to where it was before the fall. This unusual moment was captured by security cameras in a local convenience store, and what makes it even more remarkable is that it happened entirely by accident. The worker who knocked over the bottle noticed the spill and later returned to clean up the mess, but the surprising movement had already been recorded on camera, making this a rare and fascinating sighting. What makes this phenomenon especially intriguing is that even attempts to replicate it have failed. Professional stunt coordinators, physics professors, and YouTube creators have all tried recreating the scenario, using the same type of bottle, the same amount of water, and even the same brand, but none of them succeeded in producing the same result. Some scientists refer to events like this as examples of chaos theory, the idea that under the right conditions, even highly unlikely outcomes can eventually occur. Still, this particular incident continues to puzzle physicists because of how many precise factors had to align: the angle of impact, the internal pressure of the bottle, the surface tension of the water, and even the temperature of the floor. This rare event bridges the line between coincidence and scientific curiosity and leads into even stranger examples of nature's own impossible feats. Before continuing, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, please hit the notification bell and subscribe. It helps this channel so much. And if you do that, I will do everything I can to make this show even better for you. Deal? It would take years of practice to achieve what this artist has mastered. He can balance almost anything, anywhere, and his stunts have amazed millions of viewers online, earning him widespread recognition. What makes his achievements remarkable is how unlikely they are from a mathematical standpoint. According to the artist, this hobby demands extreme patience and a strong understanding of physics. The high chance of failure discourages most people from even trying. Only about 20% of his projects work out exactly as he envisions. When they do succeed, the results are dazzling works of art that seem to challenge gravity itself. This isn't random guesswork. He has developed an intuitive sense of mass and balance, allowing him to find perfect balance points that would take complex calculations for most people. For example, one small project involving a handful of objects took him 10 continuous hours to complete. A single vibration or shift in air pressure could ruin the entire setup. He has practiced for over 20 years and says he even enjoys the failures because they teach him more about the physics of balance. Some of his creations look so unusual that viewers assume glue or wires must be involved, but they are held together by nothing more than precise gravitational forces. This leads to another phenomenon, one that turns defying expectations into a viral trend that many attempt but few can master. If balancing objects on a razor's edge seems impossible, what about stepping onto something that isn't even there and convincing millions it's real? Over the past few years, several trends have gone viral on social media, like the ice bucket challenge, the mannequin challenge, and planking. The newest is called the invisible box challenge, and it's unlike anything before it. In this illusion, performers pretend there's an invisible box in front of them by patting the air as if feeling the edges. Then they lift one foot as though stepping onto it, using balance and timing to make it look like they're standing on nothing. When done well, the effect is striking and almost unbelievable. The trend began with a single viral video and has since spread to thousands of attempts online. But despite appearances, it's not magic, it's physics and body control. To mimic stepping onto something that isn't there, the body must adjust its balance and center of gravity in unusual ways, something that's hard to fake convincingly. The challenge looks easy, but it requires exceptional strength and coordination. Many attempts look awkward, which only makes the successful ones more impressive. The key lies in proprioception, the body's ability to sense its position in space. If you're curious about trying it, do so carefully in a safe environment. And now let's move from human illusions to mechanical feats that challenge what we think vehicles can do. In parts of the United States, events called crawl fests combine the challenge of off-road driving with the rugged beauty of some of America's most difficult terrain. These stunts appear to defy what wheeled vehicles are designed to do. Participants use everything from modified SUVs to custom-built buggies, attempting steep climbs that push both machines and drivers to their limits. Not every attempt succeeds, and careful safety measures are critical to managing the risks. Utah hosts some of the most famous vertical driving trails, with about 320 registered vehicles tackling 11 different routes each year. Trails range from beginner-friendly paths to advanced climbs that challenge even highly experienced drivers. Professional drivers often demonstrate their skills at these events, showing precise control and advanced techniques rather than encouraging unsafe imitation. The climbs range from moderate dirt tracks to near 90-degree inclines that appear nearly impossible to scale. The physics behind these feats is fascinating. Drivers must maintain traction and control on surfaces that seem to have almost no grip, inching their vehicles upward like mountain climbers using specially designed tires. These tires are built for extreme conditions, with unique tread patterns and rubber compounds for maximum grip. Even so, success depends on the driver's skill in reading terrain, managing power, and maintaining balance throughout the climb. Next, we'll look at what happens when humans attempt similar feats, climbing without the help of machines. This climber's abilities are so extraordinary that people often compare him to Spider-Man, a playful nickname that reflects his unusual skill and agility. Locals in his village even share a story about a monkey that used to climb the same temple walls, adding a cultural legend to his reputation. He can scale smooth cliff faces using only his hands and feet, often without safety equipment, something extremely dangerous that experts strongly warn against attempting. His technique is entirely self-taught, inspired by watching how monkeys distribute their weight on trees and buildings around his home in Karnataka, India. He first discovered his climbing skills a few years ago on bamboo scaffolding used in construction. Over time, he mastered the ability to climb impressive heights, up to 300 feet, astonishing onlookers. Despite appearances, his feats rely on physics and precise movements, using tiny irregularities in rock and concrete to grip surfaces. While his story is inspiring, it's also a reminder of how risky such climbs are and why proper training and safety measures are essential. What would you do if you encountered someone who looked exactly like you, shared your last name, chose the same profession, and even lived a remarkably similar life? It might sound like 1,000,000 to 1 odds, but this is a real case involving Brady Fagel and Brady Fagel. No, that's not a typo. Both are professional baseball pitchers in the minor leagues. What's truly fascinating is that their families are completely unrelated. No shared ancestry or family ties have been found. The coincidences go far beyond physical appearance. Both men are 6 feet 4 inches tall, have red hair, similar beards, and wear glasses with nearly identical frames. They even suffered the same injury, underwent the same surgical procedure, and were treated by the same doctor, despite living in different cities and not knowing each other at the time. Their similarities extend to mannerisms, pitching styles, and even equipment preferences. These parallels challenge our understanding of coincidence and raise questions about how often exact lookalikes might exist in the world. Scientists refer to this as the Doppelganger effect, suggesting that with limited combinations of human features, duplicates are bound to occur. But the Brady Fagel case goes further, overlapping life events and behaviors in ways that are far harder to explain. This leads us into another phenomenon, a location where unusual natural effects are so strong that even aircraft adjust their flight paths to avoid it. This location in Nia shows unusual magnetic fluctuations that affect electronics and navigation equipment in ways scientists are still studying. Researchers have yet to determine the exact cause, but many believe it may be linked to natural shifts in Earth's magnetic poles, a process that occurs over thousands of years. The magnetic forces in this area seem to vary over time, prompting ongoing studies to understand how these changes impact the environment. Scientists stress that while pole shifts can affect navigation systems and satellites, there is no evidence suggesting immediate danger to life on Earth. One of the most famous effects occurs along a section of the Cargill Highway, where vehicles in neutral appear to roll uphill, a phenomenon often described as a gravity hill or magnetic hill illusion. Residents have observed this for generations, and researchers continue investigating whether it's caused by optical illusions, magnetic anomalies, or a combination of factors. Drivers have reported that compasses spin, GPS devices give inaccurate readings, and radios sometimes lose signal in the area. Aircraft also adjust altitude as a precaution to prevent any interference with navigation instruments. If your car suddenly started rolling uphill on its own, would you be terrified or fascinated? Comment and chat with me. This fascinating mystery leads into our next topic, the incredible climbing abilities of mountain goats and the science that explains their seemingly impossible feats. When it comes to navigating steep mountain terrain, alpine Ibex goats are among the most skilled animals on Earth. Watch how they maintain balance as they graze along cliffs that would challenge even experienced human climbers. Entire groups can be seen confidently standing on nearly vertical surfaces. These goats are so well adapted that they can even climb the smooth concrete walls of the Cingino Dam in Italy's Antrona Valley Natural Park. They do this not for adventure, but to reach mineral salt deposits that form on the dam, an important nutrient source in their harsh mountain habitat. This behavior benefits both the goats and the dam's upkeep. The animals gain essential minerals, while humans don't need to remove salt buildup manually. Even young Ibex, weighing less than 20 pounds, can climb these surfaces thanks to their specialized hooves. The dam gained worldwide attention when BBC's Forces of Nature program featured these remarkable animals, with the footage receiving hundreds of millions of views online. Local park officials note that the Ibex themselves are the main reason the dam attracts visitors. The Ibex's climbing ability comes from their unique hooves, evolved over millions of years. Their split toes provide excellent grip on smooth or uneven surfaces, while soft soles increase traction and rigid edges offer stability. This adaptation allows them to move confidently on rock, gravel, and even wet stone. These skills are instinctive and refined from birth, making them extraordinary natural climbers, an ability that continues to fascinate scientists and inspire engineers studying natural design. Military humor often jokes about firing around corners by placing a cannon on its side, which sounds unusual but reflects a real tactical interest from World Wars I and IA. Curved barrels were seen as useful for shooting from trenches or behind cover, allowing soldiers to engage targets while remaining protected. They were also designed to fire into blind spots around armored vehicles using a barrel mounted on a turret with a periscope sight. Two technical approaches emerged: curving the barrel itself or bending the weapon behind the barrel. Curved barrels wear out quickly and can deform bullets, but are easier to produce from existing guns. Bending the weapon behind the barrel preserves ammunition but is more complex to build. In 1944, Germany developed the Krumlauf, a bent barrel attachment for the STG-44 rifle, with angles ranging from 30 to 90 degrees. It had a very short lifespan due to barrel stress. After the war, the Soviet Union improved curved barrels for machine guns with angles up to 90 degrees and longer service lives, though larger calibers were not developed. Western militaries showed limited interest as doctrines shifted away from positional warfare. Later, the concept evolved into weapons with a hinge behind the barrel, used by special forces. One example is Israel's corner shot, which bends up to 63 degrees and combines a pistol with a camera, laser, and flashlight, allowing firing and viewing around corners. It can also deploy non-lethal munitions, making it a versatile tactical tool. June 2021 marked a significant moment in aviation history, but not for reasons you might expect. As airlines reopened after 2 years of global travel restrictions, one passenger recorded something unusual in the sky that has puzzled many observers. The footage appears to show an object floating at high altitude, changing shape in ways that are difficult to explain using known aerodynamic principles. At times it resembles a flat disk, at others it stretches into a cylindrical form before shifting again. No publicly known technology allows an aircraft to alter its shape so fluidly mid-flight, though some experts caution against jumping to conclusions. Explanations ranging from optical illusions, such as light refracting through clouds or reflecting on the airplane window, to atmospheric phenomena have been proposed. Others find the movement too consistent to dismiss entirely, suggesting it could represent a type of controlled flight that hasn't been identified yet. This remains speculative, as no conclusive evidence confirms what the object was. Incidents like this highlight how much we still have to learn about unexplained aerial phenomena. As governments continue to release declassified files, more footage and analysis may help clarify whether these events are rare natural occurrences, misidentifications, or something entirely different. A recent experiment has challenged key aspects of our understanding of particle physics, hinting at the possibility of unknown forces or particles that could expand our current models of the universe. This finding suggests that the fundamental laws we rely on may still be missing important details. At the center of this research is a tiny subatomic particle called the muon. Muons are similar to electrons. They carry the same negative charge, but are about 207 times heavier. Because of their quantum property called spin, muons behave like tiny magnets. When placed in a magnetic field, muons experience a slight wobble that scientists can predict using established physics. However, recent measurements show that this wobble deviates from expected values in ways that cannot easily be explained by known physics. The difference is significant enough that researchers suspect there may be undiscovered particles or forces influencing the behavior of muons. While the evidence is still being studied, this could lead to new insights into the fundamental workings of the universe. If confirmed, these findings may require scientists to refine existing theories and expand our understanding of phenomena ranging from subatomic interactions to cosmic structures. Don't miss the next impossible phenomenon we uncover. Subscribe and ring the bell so you'll be the first to see it. Some unusual visual phenomena captured in the sky have led people to compare them to matrix-like glitches, though most experts caution that there are likely natural or technical explanations. One striking example involves footage of a helicopter that appears motionless in mid-air, with its rotor blades seemingly frozen despite the audible sound of the engine running. Some viewers speculate this supports simulation theory, the idea that our reality might be a highly sophisticated computer program, but this remains a philosophical concept, not scientific proof. A more likely explanation involves camera frame rate and visual perception. In some cases, fast-moving objects like helicopter blades can appear stationary if the recording frame rate syncs with their rotation speed, creating a stroboscopic effect. This can make moving blades appear frozen or even moving backward in recorded footage. While the video is unusual, it highlights how modern technology allows us to capture phenomena that were once rarely observed. These recordings spark curiosity and debate, encouraging further investigation rather than definitive conclusions. Researchers at the University of Rochester have achieved what was once thought unlikely, using precisely controlled laser technology. They've transformed ordinary metals into highly water-repellent or super-hydrophobic materials, without using temporary chemical coatings that traditional waterproofing methods rely on. This innovation could significantly influence manufacturing and consumer products, especially in areas like rust prevention, anti-icing systems, and sanitation technologies. Unlike current coatings that wear away over time, this laser-based method alters the metal's surface structure itself, creating long-lasting water-repellent properties. Because the effect is built into the material at the microscopic level, normal use does not wear it down. Early tests show that water droplets bounce off these treated surfaces, often removing dust and debris in the process, which makes it self-cleaning as well. Potential applications include automotive parts, construction materials, and even electronics like smartphones, where water resistance is especially valuable. Researchers caution that while more testing is needed before widespread adoption, this approach could address water-related challenges across multiple industries. This photograph of what appears to be floating rocks has been widely shared on social media, often accompanied by claims that it shows stones miraculously suspended in mid-air by the Prophet Muhammad over 1,400 years ago. However, this claim is not supported by evidence. In reality, the sculpture was created by an Egyptian artist for Cairo International Airport in 2008. The artist, whose work remains celebrated in Egypt, passed away in 2010, but similar examples of his art can still be seen in galleries and museums today. The question most people ask is how the artist managed to make the stones look as though they are suspended. The answer lies in clever engineering. The rope-like element is a concealed iron rod wrapped in cloth. This rod extends from a solid foundation underground, passes through the stones, and supports them in a Y-shaped configuration for stability. The engineering required precise calculations of weight distribution and load-bearing capacity to safely create this illusion. It's a striking example of how art and engineering can work together to challenge our perceptions and inspire curiosity about the physical world. Scientists once thought they fully understood physics, but discoveries keep proving there are missing pieces. As technology advances, so does our ability to uncover phenomena once thought impossible. Imagine explaining gravity to someone in medieval times; they might see it as magic. Today's discoveries, from animals that climb vertical walls to particles that defy known laws, remind us how mysterious the universe truly is. These examples challenge us to stay curious and question what we think we know about reality. If you enjoyed this journey through the impossible, smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe to get all our mind-bending content delivered directly to your feed. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.